As the oldest university in the country, Harvard has a long history of tradition. During my last year here, I made it my mission to learn those traditions as possible. In this process, I chanced upon one that I don't entirely understand, that of the three-legged chair that President Faust sits on today. Apparently, this chair was purchased by former Harvard president Edward Holyoake and has been used during convocations and commencements ever since. Though the story is intriguing, I had to wonder, who really needs a three-legged chair? How could 3 legs possibly be better than 4? And what does this say about Harvard? The more I thought about the 3 legs that support that chair, the more I thought about what has supported me during my time at Harvard. As I reflect on the entirety of my liberal arts education, I realize that the foundational knowledge I have acquired is not exactly what I expected it to be. As a chemistry concentrator, I thought that reaction mechanisms or the periodic table might be my foundation. But while I'm so thankful to have learned from the dedicated chemistry professors at Harvard, this single subject is not what supports me. Instead, it's the learning across disciplines that has given my classmates and me a framework to think about the world. Chemistry is not just chemistry. It's one of the many subjects where women have traditionally been underrepresented, as I learned in the Women and Gender Studies department. It's also a mystical science that English literature has sought to depict for generations, dating back to the poison-dispensing apothecary of Romeo and Juliet. By understanding the ways that my primary concentration relates to other disciplines, I can try to make sense of the world through a more complete point of view. This liberal arts education makes up part of the foundation that we will leave Harvard with, one of the legs of that special chair. As I leave Harvard, I am also thankful for the classmates who have stood up for their beliefs and challenged me to do the same. I remember way back to opening days, to the community conversations where we were expected to discuss difficult issues of bioethics, race, and class. Personally, I was scared out of my mind, and in retrospect, I'm sure that many of my classmates experienced those same feelings of fear. We were unsure of how to express ourselves, unsure of how our beliefs might then impact our personal relationships. But then, slowly, over the past 4 years, my peers taught me to be less afraid, to share the opinions and beliefs that I hold dear, and to invite others to be open and honest with me. Now, when I see something like the inequalities in our education system, I want to talk about them. To hear from others and to seek out solutions. When talk turns to religion and spirituality, I am excited to share my beliefs and to learn from those of others. Because of the support of students around me, I've learned to be proud of my classmates' beliefs and accomplishments, and to value my own contributions as a small part of a potential solution. After all, this sharing of ideas is the only way real change can happen, and it composes the second leg of that traditional chair. I have also come to depend on the community that surrounds Harvard. During my sophomore year, I worked for a summer camp through the Phillips Brooks House Association. Through this program, I had the opportunity to get to know a group of high school students who had recently moved here to Boston from different countries all over the world. At one point during the summer, one student's family invited the staff over for dinner, wanting to share with us both their food and their stories. They told of leaving their home country of Iraq as refugees, coming to the United States where, despite their graduate level degrees, they found it impossible to find work due to both the language barrier and the prejudice that they encountered here. Their willingness to share and be vulnerable reminded me of the kind of familial love that's so easy to forget about on a college campus. I am so glad that Harvard is located in the midst of such a great community, and I hope that future students will continue to explore the areas around them and get to know the issues that face the community they live in. So then, we have three legs of the chair that President Faust is sitting on today, and three legs of academics and peers and community. But what happened to that fourth leg, and why was it left out? Perhaps that fourth leg was left out strategically to remind us that our learning experiences are not over and that we must continue to seek out opportunities to build our support systems in years to come. Hopefully, as we think back on all of Harvard's many traditions, that missing leg will serve as a reminder to take the lessons we learned here forward. Graduation may be today, but the search for the missing leg can go on as long as we live.